can put together enough, and to get by. I have been all year. Last week, I picked up the Khalil Bell out of nowhere, and the guy scored like 13, 14 points for me.
I believe it was 16.
16 points, yeah. I mean, I'm not too, pretty good coaching move, I think, by myself to be able to just go up and snatch a running back like that. So, I am concerned about the running backs, but I have faith in them.
You've been doing that all year, Coach. You've been, good pickups and good starts. All I got to do is get to the playoffs, and anything can happen. We saw Michael Bush put up 30 or 40 points last year in the Dynasty 7 Bowl. So you never know. Khalil Bell might be the MVP this year.
Could be.
My third question, Coach. Looking at your roster again, not too bad, but there may be a few players who may end up resting come Week 17 if you make it to the championship. Marcus Colston and the Saints, Anquan Bolden with the Ravens. You have Mason Crosby, who's a kicker, probably won't rest, but Jordy Nelson of the Packers. Does that bother you at all, or have you looked at that, or are you just taking it one step at a time?
Yeah, Bob, it's actually... It is a little bit of a concern for me, and it's especially frustrating because I'm sure there's many coaches out there that do this, but I'm sure there's many coaches that don't do this. I'm actually looking at the playoff matchups, probably starting in like week 2. That was actually part of the reason why I really wanted DeMarco Murray. I think he played Tampa Bay last week, one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, and then the matchups escape my mind right now, but I believe Murray was going up against some really good matchups, so that's out of the question. But yeah, I mean, now that the Packers lost, Jordy Nelson very well maybe benched. As you said, Colston, Bolden,
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez is another guy. So all I can do is really wait and see. I can't dictate what will happen in the NFL. I can only kind of adjust accordingly. And if it so happens that I feel that I have to make a risky move and bench one of these superstar guys that got my ass here, then I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. I'm willing to do what it takes to to get myself my first ever championship, Bub. So we'll have to just see how it plays out.
Truer words have never been spoken, Coach. Finally, do you have anything to say to your opponent, Coach McDowell of the Brood Deluxe?
You know what? I respect Coach McDowell. He's one of the better coaches, and he certainly has put up some monster numbers, just 2 years being in the league. But, he called me out, and this is the second season in a row now that I've been called out by the number 1 seed. Last year, Jeff called me out, and he beat me, and I don't want that to happen again.
No.
I've been preaching this all year. Destiny is on my side this year. I can feel it, and I feel that Coach Brandon is getting in the way of destiny, and you don't do that. You don't stand on the motherfucking tracks of destiny. Bub, ask the Jews, Look what happened when the Jews stepped in the track of destiny.
They died.
Dead.
They died.
Chambers of death. We also saw the Native Americans. They stepped in the path of destiny.
Dead.
Genocide. Dead. Look, Marty McFly. He stepped in the path of destiny when he was, he has his friggin' tighty whities on and roaming around with friggin' boners with his mother out there and getting in the way of his own existence. You don't get in the way of destiny. Look at Doc Brown. He saved Clara Clayton's life. She was supposed to die a horrible death in the Clayton Ravine, and the next thing you know, they're married and they have kids. And then Jules Verne, Doc Brown's son, grew up and invented the atomic bomb, and we all know that happened. And you don't get in the way of destiny, and that's what Brandon's doing. So I just think that he's going to suffer a major upset this week.
You know who else is dead? Chris Henry.
Too soon.
And finally, Coach, we have, like I said in the email to the 4 playoff coaches, a grab bag random question. Coach, how do you feel about Bradley Cooper, both as an actor and as a man?
Bradley Cooper, I believe, was recently voted as the sexiest man in America, People magazine.
He was.
And I actually flipped through that magazine. Don't ask me why. And I don't really find him too attractive. Now, I'm not a homosexual per se. I've experimented. Who hasn't? But he's not an ugly man. I was actually a little surprised at his performance in the A-Team movie. I thought that movie was going to suck, and it turned out to be okay. He's obviously very good in The Hangover, and in Meet the Parents. So
nope, that wasn't him.
Yeah, that wasn't him. He wasn't in Meet the Parents.
No, Wedding Crashers he was in.
Ah, that's right. Wedding Crashers, my fault. Yes,
That
you're
was
right.
Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson were in Meet the Parents.
You're right. Well, nonetheless, I still think that Bradley Cooper is an okay-looking individual. From a personal standpoint, I don't have any connection with him whatsoever, nor will I probably ever. But that's all I have to say about that.
Fair enough. That is a satisfying answer. Coach, that's all I have for you. Thank you for your time, and good luck in your matchup this week against Brutal Deluxe.
Thank you, Coach Bub, and I really appreciate you hosting this playoff edition of the Dynasty Podcast. I'm going to go and stop and get myself some jumbo donuts, and I hope that I will finally. I've done a lot here in this league, and I finally hope that this will be the year that I finally bring home the championship back to Riverdale. So, Brandon, you're the first victim. I'm sorry.
All right, Coach. Sounds good. Thank you very much. And now we sort of have Coach Brandon McDowell of the Brutal Deluxe on the phone. Coach, you're the first overall seed at 12-3. You're on a 9-game winning streak, and you scored the most points overall, narrowly edging out yours truly. How's that make you feel?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The numbers don't lie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You're right. They don't. Coach, are you worried about the possibility of some of your players sitting? You have Drew Brees, Arian Foster, Ray Rice, Jimmy Graham. Their respective teams clinch a playoff spot. What about you make the championship and they're sitting? Are you worried about that?
I understand that.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad at least you know where you stand. Coach, you have a lot of good players, like we just said. Drew Brees, Arian Foster, Ray Rice. Who would you give the MVP? Who's the most valuable player on your team?
Arian Foster this year.
Arian Foster is certainly a valid selection, Coach. He's been great for you. A man of few words, Coach, but the number one seed, I guess you can do what you please. I appreciate your time, Coach. That's all I have for you today, and good luck in your upcoming matchup. All right, folks, now on the line via Eric's telephone, we have Coach Jae Young Kim of the Yellow Peril. Coach, how you doing today?
Very good, very good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. It's my pleasure. If you didn't know, I didn't make the playoffs this year. It's weird, but something happened and it got caught up. I don't know, but I'm not in the playoffs, so I'm stuck hosting this stupid podcast. But it's my pleasure always. Coach, I'm just going to ask you a few questions regarding the playoffs. I hope you're ready for them. Like I said earlier,
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
A little personal, but we'll see how you do. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Obviously, you are the rookie coach of the in the league. Just talk about your first year in the league so far. How does it compare to other leagues? Did the managers treat you well? Were you subject to any bad mouthing? Any of that? Just talk about your first year in the league.
Absolutely. No, it's been a blast. Obviously, I mean, Eric Costanza is a great commish. I mean, he's no Roger Goodell, obviously, but who could be. Honestly, yeah, I'll be perfectly frank. I dodged some bullets. I believe you scored more than 200 points more than me in the regular season, so I got a little lucky to be here. But honestly, I'm just glad I didn't pull a Matt Whiffen. So what can I say?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, Coach. The fact that I scored 200 more points than you. That's great. Dagger to my heart. Next question. You are facing Coach Johnny Costanza in the Amber Alerts after Coach McDowell called out Eric Costanza. You lost to Johnny 138-71 a few weeks back. Is that still kind of ringing in your head a little bit? Are you nervous? How are you feeling about the matchup this week?
Oh man, it does. I'll agree. Definitely something I'm still thinking about. So. Honestly, what can I say? I will be at the Pats game this Saturday to try and mitigate some of the butt hurt that Tom Brady and Gronkowski will perform on me. So I can only hope my players step up.
It's true. That's true. That's all you can do, Coach. All you got to do is make the playoffs, get lucky here and there. You never know what can happen. My third question, Coach, looking at your roster, you got some big names, Mike Wallace and Wes Welker at receiver, Jones Drew, stud running back this year. But